Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Events are in top gear in Abuja, all leading towards the 29th, which is going to be the inauguration. But today in Abuja is the investiture of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and his running mate, the president-elect and vice president-elect, respectively, where they are being conferred with the honor of. In the case of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, and in the case of his deputy, GCON. We're over to Abuja now. We'll come back and we'll look at our program in due course.
Introduced by this administration has opened up opportunities for increased delivery of electricity to undeserved homes and industries. We are also executing a number of critical projects through the Transmission, Rehabilitation and Expansion Program, which will result in achieving the national goal of improved power supply by 2020. To achieve this laudable objective, the following projects are being implemented to increase generation capacity. Zungero Power Plant, which is almost completed, and also Katsina Wind Farm Project at 97% of completion. Furthermore, to boost transmission and distribution, the 57.7 kilometer 132 kVA DC line from Yendev to Apio and 65.99 kilometer 33 kV single circuit line to Kashambila village are at the advanced stage of completion. This is expected to add 40 megawatts to the national grid. The first phase of the engineering or energizing education program implemented in 7 states is ongoing. The second phase, which is specifically focused at education and health institutions, has commenced in institutions benefiting from it. This administration achieved 100% completion of 6 projects under the Energizing Economies program in 5 states, including Lagos, which has 2 projects, Abia, Kano, Ogun, and Ondo states. It is important to state at this junction the partnership of the federal government and Siemens AG through the Presidential Power Initiative to increase electricity generation to 25,000 megawatts in 6 years, that it is on course. 9 of the powerful or power transformers out of the 10 contracted have arrived at the end of 2022. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that President Muhammadu Buhari signed the much-awaited Petroleum Industry Bill into law on 16th of August 2021. The Act provides legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, as well as the development of the host communities and related matters. That is being implemented, and the unbundling of the National Petroleum Corporation Limited has been undertaken. And with the recent commissioning of a private intervention, the Dangote refinery, the largest single-train refinery in Africa, with a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, is a testament of our commitment. We stand poised on the precipice of an era where our petroleum industry thrives, guided by a visionary framework that ensures fairness, efficiency, and sustainability. Your Excellency, we have also been very proactive in the area of strengthening our security. The Air Force, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, has acquired 39 brand new aircrafts and expecting more. The Navy has commissioned several platforms. The naval bases have been established in different parts of the country. To further reinforce civil security, 30,000 policemen have been recruited between the years 2020, 2021, and 2022. The Social Investment Program is on course with its recruitment of 1.5 million persons in the Power Scheme. I'm glad to announce that the National Social Register has captured 47 million Nigerians, exceeding our target with 2 million persons. Following the passage of the National Health Act, we have committed to ensure universal coverage that has started and it is continuing. The introduction of the insurance arm of the Basic Healthcare Fund and the signing of the Mandatory Health Insurance Act by the President has resulted in the registration of over 16 million persons. It is gratifying to note that 7,650 primary health facilities have been accredited and equipped by the Primary Healthcare Development Agency. In the education sector, we have made remarkable progress, and this can be seen from the records of school turnout and enrollments. In the digital economy, which is gradually becoming the lifeline of every economy, the government recorded an increase in broadband coverage across the country from 33.7% in 2019 to 100% coverage in 2022. This was achieved through the deployment of Starlink internet services across the country, which has helped bridge the existing internet connectivity gap across rural communities in Nigeria, where other network operators could not deploy their services. I must at this point acknowledge the states that made this great feat possible by enforcing the 145 linear meter right-of-way charge. The multiplier effort or effect on the economy is unimaginable. 4G penetration across the country has also increased from 23% in 2019 to 80.86% as at Q4 2022. And yet again, this has been attributed to the increase in the number of users of G4 technology in most states in the country. Undoubtedly, we really can't go very far without each other. As a credit of this investment, the agriculture sector has also experienced phenomenal growth. Today, at the click of in the bid to strengthen the culture of performance management and sustain the enormous gains achieved, this government issued Executive Order Number 13 of 2022 to institutionalize the Central Delivery Coordinating Unit with the sole aim of tracking and supporting the implementation of presidential priorities, programs, and projects. The activation of the delivery unit has created a heightened culture of transparency and accountability in the entire system of government, ensuring razor-sharp focus on the delivery of agreed priorities, which has led to effective delivery of services that our citizens most rightly deserve. Today, at the click of a button, you can access government programs, policies, and projects with their costs on the internet. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it is important to provide some context to the handover documents that President Muhammadu Buhari will be presenting to the President-elect, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCFR, today. The Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, with the support of our technical partners, via a presidential directive, set up the delivery unit to enable the tracking of ministerial deliverables and the 9 priority areas. These were then signed onto by all ministers and permanent secretaries as performance bonds with the President. And since 2019 to date, the Buhari administration, with the support of our technical partners, have held annual ministerial retreats to review the ministerial deliverables and also assess the stage of their completion and the impact on the Nigerian people. These working documents were developed in view of the desire of President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that His Excellency President-elect Bola Tinubu and his team have all the information required to make a quick start with the business of governance. For the records, 3 documents will be presented to the President-elect this morning. The first is a briefing note on each of the 9 priority areas, covering all sectors. The briefs are intended to provide relevant information that will help the new administration understand the peculiarities of each sector, including key issues within the sector that need immediate attention, highlights of quick wins, a mapping of the efforts of the Buhari administration in the areas where it finds alignment with the renewed hope agenda of the incoming administration. The novelty about this, Your Excellency, Mr. President and the President-elect, is that we took the renewed hope agenda and aligned it with the 9 priority areas. And where there are gaps, we indicated the gaps. And where there are improvements based on the renewed hope agenda, we indicated it and we stated what are the quick wins, what can be deferred for the future. So this is a comprehensive document you are receiving this afternoon. It's a combination of the effort of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration aligned with your vision for Nigeria. The briefs also provide key recommendations on how to improve sector outcomes. The second document you'll be receiving, Your Excellency, this afternoon is a compendium which comprehensively captures the priority programs and projects implemented by the Buhari administration towards achieving the 9 priority areas. It displays a trend of analysis of annual budget performances from 2019. Every year, what is the budget performance? 80%, 100%, 50%, as achieved through the mandate of the 9 priority areas. Each ministry is catalogued into that, and a summary of the ministerial performance and scorecard for each ministry is detailed in this document. You take, for instance, Ministry of Education. What is the impact of that ministry on the citizens? If the mandate says they are going to increase enrollment with 2 million, what percentage of that 2 million have been achieved? And if it has not been fully achieved, what are the impediments? What were the constraints? Was it as a result of funding? Was it as a result of conflicting administration of that particular mandate? And what are the expected outcomes and the way out? So that is provided in this particular document. Policies and projects implemented throughout the period. It contains up-to-date information on what the outgoing government has accomplished, what is yet to be achieved, major challenges, and the advisories for the future. The third document you are receiving this afternoon, Your Excellency, is Policy Status Update. In a bid to preserve institutional memory and support the efforts of the incoming administration, the policies implemented by all the ministries, extra-ministerial departments and agencies under the Buhari administration has been carefully compiled and organized to show the period each was developed, the key objectives of that policy, the status of implementation, the key achievements, and what remains to be done. So these are the 3 documents that are contained in the white box, which Mr. President will be handing over to you this afternoon. These documents represent years of hard work, strategic planning and implementation. They provide a comprehensive overview of the administration's achievements, ongoing projects, and priorities for the future. With the foundation laid by the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, President-elect His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCFR, has a solid platform to build upon and continue the journey towards a prosperous and thriving Nigeria. We hope the incoming administration will find these documents useful and utilize them as a basis for defining its policy direction. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, to preside over the transmission of the handover documents to President-elect His Excellency Bola Tinubu, GCFR. I thank you for your kind attention and patience, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yeah. Yes, it's all good with on there.
Oh, everything together. Oh, okay. So the next thing we are doing is to invite the President. The transition documents are going to be handed over to the President-elect now by President Muhammadu Buhari. Then you have the baton of service, which President Buhari will also hand over to the President-elect, Bola Tinubu, GCFR. You know that in a relay race, batons are handed over. It shows you that governance and government is a long-distance race. Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's please have our seats. And please, let's cut the noise that is coming from the back of the hall. This is a high-level event, and such kind of noise is not expected or appreciated. Please, let's control the noise coming from the back of the hall. The President-elect is going to make his speech shortly after the podium is set up. I hope you can recall that in 2015, at about this time, the noise in the country then was that there were no form of transition documents. No notes, no reports, nothing. But you can see the difference today. The President has signed Executive Order 14, which mandated the Transition Council to prepare all that we have seen now. And it's going to be a culture in the country because it's already a law. You won't have any other government succeeding another government, and there are no records at all because Executive Order 14 has mandated that every government does this before a new government comes in. Thank you. I think we should give a round of applause. Thank you. My pleasure to call on the President-elect, His Excellency Bola Tinubu, to make his response. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and his wife, Her Excellency Ajia Aisha Buhari. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibai. My wife, Oluremi Tinubu. Thank you. I can only call you Mr. Democrat. You have bestowed the nation's highest honor on my Vice President-elect, Shettima, and me. Our deep thanks also for the transition document, which clearly enumerated the effort of the past 8 years and beyond. The document summarizes the immense work of your administration. They constitute an impressive and noteworthy scorecard. You have made history, and no one can deny your contribution to our national development. Your devotion to progressive and democratic governance is unassailable. I stand here today, renewed in hope and dedication to our national greatness. I also feel full of pride that this moment is our moment, and I know what it represents. This stately occasion is proof that Nigeria is vibrant and true democracy. It confirms that our democratic path is right and is right, and nothing will deter us from sticking to it, I assure you. Our way shall not be always smooth, yes. Democracy is rough and tumble, hills and valleys. Yet we are imbued with faith in our purpose and belief in our collective ability to overcome the challenges that confront us. President Buhari, you have shown courage and taken tall decisions others avoided. On such decision is to recognize the injustice of annulment of 1993 election, to designate June 12th as a Democracy Day, and to bestow the nation's highest honor on late MKO Abiola. As much as anyone could, you reach back into history to set the record straight and heal the festering wounds. Thank you. The justice you did in this matter lent special meanings to today. The people have put their trust in us. You have done your part, Mr. President. Now, a great duty will descend on me. I understand the meaning of the honor given to me today and the magnitude of the task that awaits. Whether you go to the route or Nigeria or anywhere, you expect knocks on your doors. We are determined, as enumerated, on security, economy, agriculture, jobs, education, health, and power, and in all sectors. We must make headway as you've charted the course. The people deserve no less. You said so. I shall not disappoint you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President-elect. Thank you so much. Standing on existing protocols.
All right, so there you go. There you go. You have it. A most prestigious event. The president has done the needful, and so the pair of Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima Mustafa, President and Vice President-elect respectively, have been conferred with the honors of Grand Commander in the Order of the Federal Republic and Grand Commander in the Order of the Niger. I dare say congratulations from this morning to both of them. And indeed, to all Nigerians, because as it was said in there, it's been a long and hard road, but here we are today. And Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has said that he appreciates fully not just the honor, but also the duty that has now fallen on his shoulders come the 29th, when he shall be taking office formally. Okay, now to the rest of our program. We just couldn't miss out on that. And it's still on the incoming administration. In fact, youth engagement as well as other tasks. I don't think in the past we've ever had this much of an emphasis on youth engagement, as the APC, campaign council at the time of its existence had sort of, delineated and explained and emphasized that it was a key thing to them. And so let's talk a bit about that. And our guest in this regard is Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad. Dr. Ibrahim Muhammad is the chairman of 100% Focus Movement, as well as being an IT expert. He joins us from Abuja via Zoom. Good morning to you, Dr. Muhammad. We have to momentarily go back to Abuja because the president of the Federal Republic is actually, addressing the gathering. So we'll cut back to Abuja.
Members of the diplomatic corps, service chiefs, and Inspector General of Police, heads of security and intelligence agencies, traditional rulers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of pride that I stand before you today to confer national honors on the President-elect and Vice President-elect, His Excellency Kashim Shettima. This ceremony marks a significant milestone in our nation's democratic journey as we inaugurate a new administration that will lead Nigeria towards greater progress and prosperity. I extend my warmest congratulations to the President-elect and his well-deserved victory at the February 25th, 2023 presidential election. The Nigerian people have recognized your leadership qualities, political acumen, and passion to serve our great nation, and have entrusted you with the burden of governing our beloved country. I have no doubt that Nigeria will continue to thrive and achieve new heights under your leadership. You are the best candidate at the elections, and Nigerians have chosen wisely. I equally extend my congratulations to the Vice President-elect. Your wealth of experience in governance, your unwavering commitment to the well-being of the Nigerian people, and your exemplary leadership during challenging times as Governor of Borno State has made you a deserving candidate for this position. I have full confidence that you will serve our nation with uttermost dedication and integrity. In accordance with the Honors Award Act 1963, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, Presidents, Heads of State receive the honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, GCFR, while the Vice Presidents are awarded the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. Today, with authority vested in me as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I have conferred the national honors of GCFR on His Excellency Bola Tinubu, and that of GCON on His Excellency Shettima, respectively. As we celebrate this auspicious occasion, let us not forget the immense responsibilities that come with leadership. The challenges facing our nation are significant, and it is the duty of the President and the Vice President to address them with courage, wisdom, and compassion. We must remain committed to the principles of good governance, transparency, and accountability, as these are the foundations upon which our nation's progress and development rely. President-elect Bola Tinubu, you have a long and illustrious track record of public service, marked by your exceptional achievements in various capacities. Your transformative leadership in Lagos State, where you left an indelible mark in the areas of infrastructure, education, healthcare, and economic development, speak volumes about your dedication to the welfare of the Nigerian people. Your commitment to fostering unity, irrespective of ethnic or religious differences, is a testament to your statesmanship and visionary leadership. This administration, from inception, has faced security challenges such as insurgency, oil theft, kidnapping, as well as corruption, which has eaten deep into the system. With political will and support of many Nigerians, especially our budget armed forces. Insurgency, terrorism, and kidnapping have been reduced to their barest minimum, while corruption has been tackled headlong. Despite the aforementioned challenges, our administration has made economic gains over the years. While acknowledging the turbulent times and global economic meltdown occasioned by world oil crisis and most recently the COVID-19 pandemic, our economy has remained afloat and strong. Our administration commitment and determination in infrastructural upliftment of Nigeria have remained unshaken. The second Niger Bridge has been completed and commissioned. I am happy to say that no administration in Nigeria's modern history has given so much attention to roads like we have done in the last 8 years. In all, we have been able to construct and complete over 8,352.94 kilometers of roads across Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, in spite of the shortfall in the federal government's revenue due to weakness in the global economy that had led to drop in oil revenue, we have touched on all sectors of the Nigerian economy positively. As we celebrate the monumental infrastructural strides achieved by this administration, it is pertinent to acknowledge that these transformative endeavors have not only reshaped our physical landscape, but have also paved the way for remarkable economic outcomes that reverberate across our nation. The link between infrastructure and economic prosperity is undeniable. It is through the construction of roads, railways, bridges, and other critical assets that we unlock the true potential of our nation, leading to better communication, facilitating trade, and propelling economic growth. To avoid a repeat of our 2015 experience, I signed Executive Order number 14 of 2023, which establishes the legal framework for conducting presidential transitions at the federal level. The Executive Order establishes the Presidential Transition Council chaired by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and ministerial transitional teams headed by the permanent secretaries. The primary responsibility of these two ad hoc bodies is to ensure that every piece of information that will help a new administration get off to a speedy start is made available in a usable format and in a timely manner. Today, I am proud to have handed over to you, my successor, Your Excellency Bola Tinubu, three key documents that will guide you as you aim to define a path for your administration. It is my earnest desire that you will find these documents useful, as this would be the first time in the history of this country that such a detailed documentation will be produced for handover to a new administration. I strongly encourage you to uphold this legacy and make experience even better for your successor by the time you are to leave office. It may also interest you to know that apart from these 3 documents, all the ministries and their agencies have also prepared their handover notes, ready to brief their new political leadership. I want to sincerely thank the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and his team for this great feat. We just witnessed the transfer of a baton of service from me to President-elect Bola Tinubu as part of a symbolic handover for him to continue with the race of advancing our democracy and development. This is a first in the history of our nation's transition process. To preserve this remarkable history for generations to come, I have directed that the baton be preserved in the Presidential History Wing of the National Archives. And I hope that President-elect Tinubu and those after him will build on this tradition. I would like to now express my deepest gratitude to the Nigerian people for their unwavering support and trust throughout my tenure as president. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve this great nation, and I am confident that Nigeria is in capable hands as we embark on this new chapter. I have run a good race. I have finished my course. It is now time for another to take up the baton. Once again, I congratulate President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Shettima on their well-deserved investiture. May the Almighty bless you and guide you in your endeavors to lead Nigeria towards a brighter and more prosperous future. Thank you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, so the event has come to an end just about, and I don't know what to say really. Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed, it's not really, we were trying to reach you earlier. Can you hear me now, Dr. Mohammed? Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it did go the way it went. We couldn't interrupt the president as he was speaking. So I'm sure we can count on your understanding. When the president is speaking,
yes,
it's a grade A broadcast and nothing must happen to it. So please bear with us. But we were going to talk about the role of we were going to talk about the youth engagement. So that part of it, at least, we can talk about. Youth engagement. I was saying the last time, but you couldn't hear me, that I don't think any other administration has concentrated this much on youth engagement. So what are you looking forward to, or what can we expect how can we expect that the youth will be engaged this time around?
Thank you for inviting me to this topic. I think that's the greatest task ahead of us. We as parents and we as citizens of Nigeria. What are we working for if we cannot engage our youth? Because we send them to school, we educate them, we show them there's a lot of things that they can gain by going to school. But at the end of the day, we do not have a system that absorbs them immediately they're coming out of school. Or some of the courses that we teach them in school could not adapt to the reality of things today. So at the end of the day, they become less useful to the nation. And government needs to readdress that and quickly make sure that it's stopped and mitigates all the disadvantages of not engaging the youth and find out what exactly is the problem that the past government and even the present one is about to hand over to the new one couldn't even get it in terms of youth engagement. And that boils down to understanding the economics of the world. For every nation, the leadership capability, how strong that leadership capability determines how successful the country can likely be. So if a leader does not understand the majority of the people that he's ruling, then that's a failed leader. So that's the angle that this new administration needs to look into to avoid the NSAS Part 2. To also think about that the next administration, that is the next one after this one, starts from May 29, meaning the 2027 election is just 2 years from now. And those youth that will be abandoned or that will be concentrated on will be the same youth that we're going to go back to and give a new manifesto that they will be included if being re-elected back. So I think it's important for the government to even have a censorship of how many youths do we have and what is the educational level of those youths and how can we assist them and how can we digitally also assist them.
I beg your
when
pardon,
you look
Dr.
at the total number of people that...
I'm so sorry, Dr. Mohammed. I beg your pardon, but thank you very much. We're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed, Chairman, 100% Focus Movement, IT expert. Dr. Mohammed, we certainly must do this again, but I want to thank you very much for making yourself available this morning. And that brings us to the end of our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.